Oh, yeah. Well, good afternoon, everybody. On a
Good snowy afternoon, yeah.
snowy day in the Northeast here.
Oh, look at
Nice
that.
snowy day out there. We're looking at races from New Orleans and down south. It's pretty good, but up here in the Northeast, it is snowing. So, hi, welcome. This is John Costin for Let It Run podcast here on Capital Sports Network, and my partner back at it full time now, full force. He's recovering very nicely, and as soon as his voice comes back, he will be back to 100%. Fred York, how you doing on a snowy day?
John, I'm doing great. My voice is definitely not quite where it needs to be, but it's on its way. But like I said in the past, the voice may be weak, but the mind is still strong. And that's what's important.
That shows from that BRISnet pick earlier this week, $9.
Well, we got to build. Yeah, we got to build on that. And if we keep picking winners, when I go see the doc again about my voice, I might just say, you know what? How about we just leave it the way it is?
The voice is working. The voice is speaking loudly to our followers.
No, I think I got to get the voice back. People ask me do I have money invested in helium or something? You know, people ask me weird things. Yeah, I don't.
All right.
What do we got going? Hey, John, what do we got going, John?
Quick recap. Yesterday, they had two nice carryovers at Tampa Bay in the afternoon, and that generated, $600,000 pick five pool. And we missed the second leg, first-time starter, 20-1 shot, which, cost us there 4 out of 5. It wound up paying $23,000 for the pick five. The funny part is the late pick three with the last 3 races of that sequence, the pick 3 paid $9.40, but the pick 5 paid $23,000. So how's that for value?
Yeah, unbelievable. Wow.
And then we tried it again last night at Turfway. They bet $700,000 into a Turfway pick 5, $800,000 pool, and just bad ticket structure. We couldn't, get the right structure. 4 out of 5 again, and it did pay $11,000. So they're out there for the taking if you just structure correctly. The whole thing is we handicap all week. You got to spend time on structuring your ticket and figuring out, the best value and how to attack the sequence that's presented in front of you. So hopefully we do that today with this fairground sequence of laying out different types of ticket structures and ultimately where you wind up on the legs that you're going to go short or single. Totally up to you, but we'll give our thoughts of why and how we feel that way.
Sure.
What do you think about this late sequence, Fred?
What's that?
What do you think about this late 5 at?
Well, I think it's ripe for some big time prices to come through. I mean, if you look at our tickets that we have scrolling there on the bottom, some of our tickets are vastly different where we might single a horse. We'll talk about why we might like a horse and why you might like a horse you single. But I really like what you did there, John, with the combo ticket. That's pretty cool. When we meld our tickets together, merge them together, you come up with a ticket that gives you an idea of what horses you want to look at that we both like, correct?
That's the key to that, where you could go short and say, hey, you know what, they both like the same ones. Maybe catch lightning in a bottle, and that small little sequence, that small little ticket, will come through. Definitely an economical one. You could hit it as many times as you feel comfortable. Hit it for $2,
Sure.
And it might be a $54 ticket, but you'd have it 4 times in case it does come in.
Yeah,
and some of these races with these chalks, that if it does chalk out, I'm going to press, a few singles, like one of Fred's singles there, my 2 singles. I'm going to press a ticket where, probably all the races on the bookends, but then play our 3 singles right in a row, for a ticket for, a couple dollars. So different ways you can approach it. So before we get going, definitely want to thank our sponsors here, been with us from day one. Case's Pork Roll, family owned, good friend, Tommy Dolan. Appreciate all his support from the beginning, and what an unbelievable company, unbelievable guy. Cases for the taste. If you never had pork roll and you're not from the Northeast, you're missing it out. So, and also the vape shop on Route 33 for all your vape needs. Alicia has been a great supporter and sponsor. Thank you to the vape shop And then our newest sponsor across the top, BRISnet, for helping us with the tools that they offer. A wide range of tools BRISnet offers the handicapper. Their power numbers, their ratings, their speed figures, their late pace figures. Definitely, Fred is in the BRISnet corner, and he's been using it for years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just getting myself familiar with it. Another one of our guests on the show, Gus Alonso, a huge proponent of BRISnet. Thank you, BRISnet, for being on board and supplying us with that. Hopefully, soon get somebody from BRISnet to come on and talk
Sure.
about the product, and we're trying to set that up.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. BRISnet provides again some insight, some information that sometimes you don't get from your typical PPs. Again, just looking for different ways to have your own. I don't want to use the word system. I don't use that word system. Your own method of how you break down races. So, with that being said, John, why don't we jump right in here to this late pick 5 at Fairgrounds? And I think it's fast and firm down here, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great day at Fairgrounds. Great racing, full fields, all stakes pick 5. You got to love the all stakes pick 5. So you're dealing with proven good horses. So we're going to start out in the 9th race. They do have 13 races today. So the late pick 5 starts at 9, which is 4 o'clock Central. So I guess that's 5 o'clock Eastern. We will get underway with this pick 5. So we're going to start out with a $100,000 stake. The Marie Krantz Memorial, and that's a 1 16th on the grass for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. At first glance, it basically to me looked like a 2-horse race. I was looking at the 5 and the 6. Really like the 6 as my top pick, especially with Giroux getting off, Irad getting on for Brad Cox. Picks up late 6 again. Big shot to win. I think just the trip's going to set up perfect. If this horse could take a step forward, newly turned 4-year-old, facing, the olders, basically for the first time running as a 4-year-old. The 5, definitely class relief here coming out of all those, huge graded races.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When she runs out of those graded races, she's 3 for 3. You look at those races I circled, the 3 non-graded races, she wins. She's been facing the likes of Special Juan. I was on Breeders' Cup Day. Give me another. She feels pretty. So she's been up against a lot.
Yeah.
But just scares me that she's really just, not a winner. And she just always seems to be around there. Maybe it's because of the competition, but maybe the class relief here would really make the difference. But at the low price, I think there's enough knocks that if she doesn't get the job done, who could it be? And the 6 would be my top pick at a little better odds. But also hearing how the 2 has been working out in the mornings at Louisiana, at the Fairgrounds there, I definitely want to include the 2 and improving, newly turned 4-year-old. And the other one that, Flavian Pratt with Horacio De Paz. This one, tough to leave him off there. And then a couple other long ones I'm going to throw in is the 8-horse, a slight turn back, always around the money. And the 11, is that horse improving just at the right time now, getting better and better now? Far outside at 20-1, I'm willing to throw it in my ticket to find out and try to create. But if you're going shorter, I would think it's, between the 5 and 6. What do you think here, Fred?
I agree 100% regarding your talks. I kind of see this race as the 3, 6, and the 9 kind of all going to the front. Don't know exactly how that's going to play out when it works out that way, but I think that does set up for the 5. The 5 will probably get the first run on those speed horses going out to the front. So my ticket includes a lot of the horses you mentioned. One of the horses I threw in as a wild long shot, 20-1 to 3, Wild About Hillary. Again, according to BRISnet, the lone E has speed, hasn't been on turf in a while. Like you mentioned, Florent Giroux got off the 6 horse, which is in my ticket. I have the 6 horse on my ticket. My ticket is the 3, 5, 6, 8. So for the most part, we're the same here, except if the 3 gets out and goes crazy on the front, again, I don't know if it'll last, but it'd be interesting to see. It hasn't been on turf in a while. Actually, only ran on turf twice. Didn't really look very good, but I think has become a better horse since the last time he ran on turf, which was a long time ago. So I don't see much difference between our tickets except crazy long shot in there. But that is a crazy long shot, but we have a lot of similarities.
Not a crazy one. That 3 turning for home when he hits the top of the stretch at 42-1, and he's got the lead, and you're holding your breath. Are they going to come and get him? It's better to have him on your ticket rather than not. When you see him turning with a a length and a half, 2-length lead at 42-1. So we'll see how that pans out.
Well, it also helped because I saw Flying Jerome get on that horse. I mean, geez, we'll see how it works out. He's hot, 31% right now at some fairgrounds. So good.
All right, moving over to the 10th race. Do you want to kick us off here and see what you got here?
Yeah, the 10th race is small field of 6. It's a very classic, some very classic horses in here. The Fazek Tipton Silver Bullet Day. For fillies 3 years old, it's a 1.70 on the dirt. Certainly, the odds indicate that you can make a case for any of the horses in this race, clearly. I certainly, obviously, the 1 and the 4 appear to be the class of the field because they're dropping out of some graded races that they've participated in. In fact, the 4 taken by the wind won the graded stakes race that horse was in by 5 lengths with Irad Ortiz on Bernard. Brian Hernandez Jr. is on this horse now for Kenneth McPeak. That's his go-to rider. So that says something to me. Obviously, it's interesting to note that Irad Ortiz is not on any of these horses. Jose, his brother, has been on the number 1 horse, Atropa, most likely going to be is the morning line favorite, but most likely going to be the post time favorite. So I was torn between the 1, 4, and 6, the 1, 5, and 6. On my ticket, I went with the 1, 5, and 6. I just think the 5 is going to be some value. The first time he tried dirt, put up his best buyer speed figure, which fits with the horses in this race. So if he moves ahead by some buyer speed figure numbers, which is the second time he's going to be on a dry fast track, I think that's likely to happen. I took a shot with that horse. So my numbers here, John, are the 1, 5, and 6. 1 clearly number 1 prime power. Should have a good chance to win third off the layoff for Sherry DeVoe. 1 or 2 horses in here. What do you think, John?
I think the 1 totally has this field over the barrel. And if I don't go short and single the 1 here, I'd almost have to use them all. I mean, there's a case, like you said, it's a small, condensed field, but everybody has, some accolades to say, the
True.
2 coming off, 4, 5 great workouts in a row. The 3 horse, is he just a closing sprinter? Or is he going to like 2 turns?
Yeah.
Taken by the wind, like you said, the buyers are, right there coming off 2 good workouts, a maintenance workout last time. Brian Hernandez gets on board. And that race that he won, let me see this here. I wrote, horse that ran 4th in that race to Pocahontas, Dancing Dame, came back to win that day at New York in Aqueduct.
Really?
By
Okay.
a big margin for Brittany Russell. So, I mean, that race did come back good. Love Your Neighbor, like you said, first time on a dry, fast dirt. Liked it a lot. Lost the irons, and if you watch that video, you watch Concepcion balancing himself to final 16th.
Is that right?
Trying to get the horse home, but he's out of the irons, and he just misses there.
Well, and still won the race.
And still almost, yeah. And Passiana could be the lone speed, up on the front end. So if she gets brave on the front. So there's a case for all of them. I just think that the 1 is going to get a perfect stalking trip from inside, save all the ground, shouldn't be too far back. 3rd time going, around a ground, got beat by Bella Ballerina, which is, I think, one of Cox's, big time hopefuls for the Kentucky Oaks. So in this one, really closed into that race there. So I just think with a shorter field, closer trip, I'm going to take a stand that this Cherie DeVoe horse, is the goods and gets a nice trip. Because if I don't single here, I'm all button. So I had to take a stand, and this is one of my singles.
Well, hey, I think that's a good philosophy.
All right. Let's go on to the 11th race here. Another race that, there is definitely a single, and Fred did single the horse. I could have singled it. Looks to be the best in here, going a 1.16. This is for the boys this time, a 1.16 on the grass. Lagnos, I mean, the Kentucky Down races are just off the charts. I mean, super fast. Came back in the River City, which we did cover that race for one of our happy hours. and Wolfie's Dynago, so we didn't really, give that much of a shot to hang on there. But Wolfie's just ran his eyeballs out that day, and nobody was getting to him that day. So a little, okay for Laganos to bounce off those two Kentucky Downs and chase Wolfie home there. So definitely the class I would expect to be first or second here. $1.7 million earner. The only thing is only 2 for 7 at the distance. Not like it's a win machine at the distance.
No.
Looking at a few others, the one I'm going to include defensively, but one that I would fade at this short price as the favorite. I don't believe that 98 buy or 2 back, really was a truthful number. Then came, back with a 93, more like the lower 90s where that horse belongs.
True.
The 3, speed of the speed, can get out there and, if gets brave on the lead, and did it last year at 86 to 1 in the same race. Defending champ, now you're not getting 86 to 1. And the last race that he won at 17 to 1. So when this horse wins, it's totally not expected. So now he's 6 to 1. You missed the wedding, so I don't know if I'd attend the funeral here at 5 or 6 to 1, but one that can get brave.
I like that.
4 to 5. I've just had enough of this horse, and just hasn't.
Miss the wedding, attend the funeral.
If you jump on a horse now and you miss those big prices, that's the worst thing you could do. I mean, if he beats me at that price. But
there's another term to add to the glossary, John.
we're going to do that one show. We're just going to cover our let it run,
chit chat, ching, let it run glossary. Chaos,
boots on the ground. We got a lot. So, and another one, 7 Theismann here is another one that's going to show speed. How much is that going to affect the 3? Theismann is definitely one that can win this race, but if the 3 and the 7 mix it up, it's going to open the door for these closers. Reagan's Wit, another Cherie DeVoe. I think she's going to have a big day. A lot to say for this whole day. This horse has been bet all these times, every race. A few times, a lot of times disappointing at those low odds. But, if you take a step forward, missed some time from July 4th, had a chipped ankle, and that's why I missed some time. But it was only a minor chip, so he should be okay, to come back here. Just been a little disappointing off the long layoff. At 10 to 1, I got to include. But I'm going to use a bunch of them here. I could use, the 1, the 3, the 4. The 6 is a crazy long shot that I could include to maybe, close, and if he picks up all the pieces. The 7 and the 9. Basically, taking a shot that the 4 doesn't get the job done, runs second, and then some crazy one, beats them, and we catch a, $20 winner in this spot.
Yeah. Well, for the same reason that you singled in the race before, took a stand, I took a stand here. I'm looking at this as my BRISnet play of the day. I think we had this horse singled one time before Laganos. In a race, and he got scratched. Another race we were covering. I can't remember exactly when that was, but the fact Jose Ortiz is getting back on this horse, I love that. I think this horse, like you said, perhaps not a win machine, but nevertheless, I think he's the class of the field. Clearly, the class of the field has the tie for the highest last race speed rating with another horse that I did not put on my ticket, but you might want to take a look at that horse. I'll mention that in a minute. The biggest reason I like this horse, John, is his prime power number is 20 points above anybody in the race. That's pretty much
the biggest one I've ever seen.
That's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. I watch it all the time. 7, 8, 10. 10 is, if it's 10 plus, that's a 55% winner. 20 points above, I've never seen that before. If this horse loses, that to me, that'll be like a shock, the complete shock with that kind of number above any of the other horses in the race. When I talk about a horse that's class of the field, he's number 1 prime pair, but number 1 by 20 plus. Wow, that's crazy. And he's 7 to 2 morning line. I hope he stays at 7 to 2. That would be a miracle. The other horse that I did look at that you mentioned too is Theismann. I don't like the Washington Redskins or the Washington Commanders. I don't like Joe Theismann. Let me know. This horse has become a new horse since it got on turf. I mean, you look at his buyer speed figure numbers. You look at how he's won the last 3 in a row. He's looking to win 4 in a row. Going to get the front. Going to definitely get to the front with Curtis, getting on him for the first time. Obviously, that jockey is very familiar with the turf at fairgrounds, you're going to see this horse. I guarantee this horse is going to bust out, go to the front. He is 2 for 2 at the distance, so the distance doesn't bother him. And the horse has become a new horse since he's got on turf. I left him on my ticket, off my ticket, I should say, because I just can't get around not singling Lagnios there, in my opinion, John.
No, I could definitely play a ticket singling the 4 here, and I'm probably, like I said, going to play my singles and this one and play 3 singles in a row. Maybe a cold pick 3. Maybe a $20 straight pick 3 on those 3 horses. And hope it pays $40 or something, and get yourself $800 or something.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm going to mess around with those 3 because they do look pretty strong. And the good thing is none of them are going to be 3 to 5s, 2 to 5s. So they're going to be favorites, but there's enough to use around that you might get an overlay with those 3 maybe favorites winning, but it won't be like a typical 3 to 5. One strange fact that I saw in this race, it's 11 horse race in a stake race. Only 2 horses retain the jockeys that rode them last race. This is a musical jockey race of all races.
Yeah,
2
interesting.
horses maintained it. Paco and James Graham are the only ones that return. Everybody else has a new pilot. Crazy.
Hey, got a comment came up there from a good friend, Danny Reed, his big Redskin fan. Yes, I did say the Skins.
Okay.
Danny Reed's
Good to see
watching.
you,
I'm
Danny
sure
Dirt.
we've got a couple guys, perhaps maybe from the Hybos, checking us out here. But thanks for checking in, Danny. Okay,
All
race
right,
number
Danny,
12.
Good to hear from you.
Yep, race number
All right.
12 is right before the big race, but it's also a mile 16th on the dirt. So interesting that you got back-to-back races the same distance. And when I talk about the horse I like in the next race, you'll see why. But I went a little bit deep in this race. My pick 5 ticket, I went to 1578, the 1 Moonlight. Again, Jose Ortiz on this race, on this horse. The best closing speed figure of all the horses in the race by a mile. I love the fact he's on the rail. I love the fact Jose's back on him again. I think this horse has I don't think this horse does have the highest last race speed rating out there. So that's why I use this horse. The 5 horse Sir Grayland, a little bit of another price horse, gets bet every single time. I mean, it gets bet every time this horse has been out, other than his maiden race that he won at 40,000. The maiden claim of 40. Ever since then, $1, $2, $2.20 gets bet every time. He's 5 to 1 here. Has again a closing kick. You got Kenneth McPeak. You got Brian Hernandez together on a horse that knows how to win, that knows how to get to the wire. He's never been out of the money. 10 races, John. He's been lifetime 10 races, never been out of the money, and has been first or second, four times first, 4 times second. So this horse at 5 to 1, I think, is a big play in this race. I like the 7, Willie D. Could be the speed of the speed. He might get out by himself. He is an E runner in this race, which, as I mentioned on our podcast yesterday, if you look at BRISnet, when they break down which style of horse wins races at this distance, a mile and 16, the E race, not necessarily wire to wire, but the E figure, a horse that is rated with an E, wins at 41% of the time out of 19 times they've raced at this distance in the meet so far. So you've got to give an E a look, and certainly giving a 7 a look, and also use the E as well. Obviously going to be probably the likely, not the likely, is the Moorline favorite, likely going to be the post-time favorite with Irad on this horse. Again, Giroux not on this horse. I don't think Giroux's on any horse in this race, but, I guess Brad Cox decided to say, okay, I'm going to put Irad on this horse. He's 2 for 2 at fairgrounds. It might be tough to beat if he runs any of the races that he's run in the past, but I don't think this race, in my opinion, is a like you use the word that horse has these other horses over the barrel. I don't think so, John.
Yeah, my first look through, I was definitely going to go deep here and definitely try to beat the 8 horse. But the more I dove in, the more I looked at it, went through this, and especially with Lasix. This horse gets Lasix back. His 2 best races by far with Lasix. Just 104, 102 buyers, blows him away with the Lasix on. Then at Met Mile, I mean, he definitely had a good account of himself there, running into Raging Torrent and Fierceness. He ran 3rd behind them 2. Last time at Monmouth, the Monmouth Cup, That was Florent Giroux. That was jockey error. I mean, he rode that
Yeah.
race so bad at
Yep.
1 to 20. He was 10 cents on a dollar.
And
And
people
Church's error
disappointed with
was
that.
really good at the time. So he got beat by a legitimate horse, but no way he was supposed to lose that race. But Florent Giroux, that's why he's off. I mean, after they saw that, they're like, he ain't riding his horse no more. So this horse, Brad Cox, off this type of a layoff at the
Sure.
fairgrounds the last
Yeah.
few years, 75%, 8 out of 12 dirt fairgrounds off this type of layoff. When you factor in the 2 Lasix works, really he had one bad race in his life, and it was the Kentucky Derby. If you put a line through that one, I mean, he's definitely there. Really 6 straight, workouts in a row. He was scratched out of a race in December, I think it was, just to get him a little bit more sharper and I guess go for the grade 3. And I guess Brad Cox and the Qatar Racing is hoping that this becomes their good, handicap horse for this year.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, no,
olders, facing the grade 1 fields down the road. So this is a stepping stone. If this horse runs his race, should be good. But I do love the 1. If I had a second ad, it would definitely be the 1 and the 8. But for ticket budget purposes, I had to
Sure.
shrink it.
Well,
But I may go back and play a ticket with singling Laganos and then using a bunch of horses here. So I might play multiple tickets with 3 singles, but rotate the singles throughout the sequence and
yeah.
try to catch 2 of the 3 singles and then
Yeah.
a price in the other leg.
Yeah, well, I
So,
think there are some prices to get. I mean, I like your ticket that you currently have up there. I really like it a lot. I think you've got some value in those sequences where when you went deep. All based on our opinions. Again, you got your opinion on your single. I got my opinion on my single. People who are watching us are going to have their opinions on what they do, and that's what we're talking about. We're giving you our thoughts. Use our thoughts. Put your thoughts together. Come up with a ticket. So let's get to this big race, John. Go ahead.
all right. Let's see. We go here. We covered it yesterday in depth on the Friday happy hour, which supposedly we can't find it anywhere. So you can't even go back and watch it. So,
Okay, so valuable. It's already in an archive somewheres.
all right. We touched on this race, pretty much wide open. And my final assessment and philosophy and thoughts were I'm tossing the gun runner. I mean, anybody coming out of the gun runner stakes, visually, if you watch the end of that race, it looked like Crown the Buckeye was 1 to 20 with 100 yards to go and just hit a brick wall, and the whole field accordioned up, like got close at the wire. And the outside horse Chip Honcho was the one that inherited the win when the big favorite ran second, didn't really fire and couldn't get by the quitting 3 horse. So I'm looking for a fresh face, but I got a little bit discouraged, the fresh face when Fred said the stat that basically anybody facing winners for the first time, doesn't win this Lecomte.
Right.
So you got to go back 13
One
years.
time since the year 2000. One time.
Yeah, in 25 years. So we're really trying to buck a trend here, but I'm going to toss the gun runner as not being, that well. And I wasn't going to include the 2 Brendan Walsh horses until I heard Frank McGoey, who clocks them early in the morning, said the 2 and the 10, both of Brendan's horses look like $1 million on the track. Definitely well meant. So I'm going to, mix them in a little bit. But my main bets are going to come around the 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I think this 7 with, the big close that he had, the little trouble that he had, will be my top pick. And I will definitely take a shot with the the Phipps horse, better with distance. They were not expecting him to win 6 furlongs. He did anyway. Sure. And now he's stretching out to what he's supposed to be doing. Maybe he might be a little bit, closer, and he doesn't have to come from dead last. So, I would be between the 7 and 5, but heavily on the 6 and 8 in my pick 5s as well. Pretty much tossing the 1, the 3, and the 11, the gun runner horses. So we'll see how that works out for me. Probably the gun runner is going to run 1, 2, 3, and that race will stand up as being a key race. But that's why we try to guess before the race is run.
That's funny, John. No, I like your structure. I like what you said about it. My top pick is again related to BRISnet information, which I love. Is the number 8 White Tiger, ridden by Rad Ortiz. I think he's sitting on a big race. Again, one of the many horses coming out of a maiden win. He's got an E figure. Doesn't mean a wire figure. It means that those horses have won 41%. There's been 17 races run at a mile and 16 on the dirt at fairgrounds. 7 of them who won the race have E figures. Only 2 horses in this race. The race before, same distance, mile and 16, there's 5 horses in it that have E figures. So, it kind of opens it up a little bit more there. Whereas here, the only 2 that have E figure are the 8 and the 11. I left the 11 out. I think it's a tough post. This is probably the only race, I think, John, where there was a scratch, where the 9 horse scratch. So now there's 10 horses in this race. I still think it's a tough post for the 11. Definitely has some speed. But I think as far as speed, the 8's the speed of the speed. But I don't think he's going to go to the lead. I think he's going to get there in a good position, follow the horses as closely as he can, and then have something left in the tank at the end. I don't think that horse has run its best race yet. The 8 White Tiger. I really like that horse a lot. That's my top pick in this race. I also did use, as you mentioned, your horses that you talked about, the 5 Sherry DeRose horse, one of hers, and the 7. So both of her horses are big-time closers. So if a speed duel does break out that allows for too many horses to be running up front, trying to get some fractions that are a little crazy, I think it sets up for those 2 horses. So I use those horses in my pick 5 ticket, the 5, 7, and the 8, but I really like the 8. And I'm hoping, John, we do buck that 1 for 25 years trend. That would be something special, because it is quite a trend if you think about it. For 25 years, only 1 horse has been a maiden winner previously that has won this race. I can't remember who it was, but obviously.
Yep. And then neither one of us have anybody from the gun runner. So we're both in the same camp of tossing that race. And the funny thing is, they're the top 3 morning line favorites coming out of that race. They made those 3 the favorites. I guarantee by post time, none of the 3 of them will be in the top 3 in the betting horses. It'll come down to the 5, 6, 7, and 8. 3 of those will be the 3 betting favorites. And I'm thinking that the 8 would probably take the most money with the connections of Cox and Ortiz, just those 2 alone. So that will probably be the 5-2, 3-1 favor in my mind. I did make a typo on our combo ticket, Fred. When I was looking at it, I'm like, we had to have 3 singles in the combo ticket, because I have 2 singles and you have 1 single. So it is basically, we got 3 horses on the front end and 3 horses on the back end that we both have in common. The other races in the middle are singles. So our combo ticket with our 3 singles in the middle,
$4.50?
only $4.50. That's the only thing that we're common, because when you have singles, if the other guy, like I went 8 deep, we're only using 1 horse because you singled it. And when you went 5 deep, I only used 1 horse. So the only common one is the single. So with 3 different singles in a sequence, that makes it really economical. And there you go. We laid out
play that ticket for $20.
Play a $10 straight pick 3 on the middle.
Yeah.
And then you could play that one there for, a $5 ticket. And what would that be? $22. You could play a $5 pick 5.
Yeah. Well, hey,
yep.
We just made it very
creative. You could hit all single with the all button, just so you have all on the bookends. And that would only be, what, 11?
1 times 10.
11 by 11 by 10.
That's
like $50. So that ticket's $50 with 2 all buttons. Yeah, 2 11-horse fields. So you might catch, a crazy one that we really didn't talk about. And all you need is 1 to really make it pay in the thousands.
Actually, it's even less, because the last field is a 10-horse field.
Oh, because I forgot.
Yeah, so it's actually a little less. A little less there. But hey, listen, I think we put together some really good information here. I'm very, very anxious and excited to see that last race, to see if that holds up again. It's almost like the Kentucky Down curse that was broken at the Breeders' Cup last year, John. If we talked about that, horses that came out of Kentucky Downs as their prep race didn't win a Breeders' Cup race. Well, last year that curse was broken. Let's hope we can break this curse again. This 1 for 25-year curse right here, John, and have some winners come home for us.
Yep. The 13th race goes off at 7:00 Eastern, and I will be walking into the Stone Terrace for 7:00 dinner reservation. So hopefully I'm sitting at the bar with Albert, and I got a nice will pay coming up, and we could all root together before my dinner.
Well, you tell Albert over there we said hello, and And hey, listen, again, once again, thanks to our sponsors for helping us out here. Case's Pork Roll, the vape shop, and BRISnet.com. Love BRISnet. They've been good to us. Oh, so somebody, Fred, I need a winner, buddy. I got to get some dinner somewhere tonight. Well, if you're looking for winners, you tuned into the right show. We gave you some good winners here. We talked about, hopefully I can go 2 for 2 with my BRISnet bro play of the day, which is Laganos, 7-2 morning line. Don't know what it's going to go off at, but that would help us out a lot if that happens. So on that note, John, we'll say, hey, bet smart, cheer hard. Remember, fast horses equal serious fun. And until next time, which is going to be Wednesday. John, let's review that once again before we say goodbye. Wednesday, you're going to be down in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I was supposed to be.
12:30.
Yep, I was supposed to be driving down to yesterday morning, but we delayed the trip. We're going to drive down on Monday, so I will be in Safety Harbor in Tampa area on Tuesday afternoon. We'll be visiting the track on Wednesday and do our happy hour Friday. So we thought it'd be good to put together a nice little quick show on Wednesday. We're going to shoot for 12:30. Stay tuned. Fred will post the actual time, but I'll be trackside. And previous guest we had on last weekend, Wadey, he'll be joining me live from Tampa. So we'll jump on with Fred, and he'll come up with his BRISnet play of the day there, and we'll maybe come up with, a thought on a late pick 5 at Tampa or something. We'll take a look at the card and see how it checks out.
John, whoa. Not maybe, John. How about
It'll
that?
happen. There's no maybes. It's Fred's coming up with his BRISnet pick of the day at Tampa on Wednesday, and then we'll be back at it Friday live for happy hour, where we look at the best race of the day going forward on Saturday. So when I'm traveling, Fred could pick out our spots for next week, and while I'm in the car,
you got it, bud.
All right, sounds good.
Right.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Let them run, and good luck today.
Mike, I hope you get a good sandwich, whatever grilled cheese you're getting, buddy. Take care.